Hey everybody, this is Eric with Peachtree Classic Cars, and this is a beautiful 1959 GMC Shortbed truck. We're going to take her for a little drive here, and I'm going to show you around. Now the story goes on this, sometimes we only have the story to go on. We don't have any documentation, but the story goes this was a two-owner vehicle and had been in the family for forever. And when the truck had about 19,000 miles on it in the late 60s, they had an engine issue and the vehicle was taken to the dealership and it was upgraded from the original 6-cylinder to a 327 V8. I have verified that with the numbers on the back of the 327. So it's got a nice little 327. And then also he said when they did that, they put the shifter, moved the shifter, 3-speed shifter on the column to a 4-speed shifter on the floor. So we'll turn the key in the on position, and there's a little starter button here. Touch that key and she fires right up. I've got nobody riding in the car with me, so this is just me doing the best I can to drive a manual transmission, holding a camera in one hand. But what I love about this is I hope that this shows a testimony to how well this truck drives. Probably in 40s. There we go. Great sounding little engine, not too aggressive. Steering wheel on this is perfectly straight, which is awesome. And then I want to just show, I like to call this my finger test. If you watch, see how much wander it's got. Basically zero. And this is incredibly rare. If you could even go back and look at all my videos, we've been doing this for almost 15 years. And I will say that, I gotta say, this is driving like new, which is, like I said, very, very rare. I'm surprised every time I jump in. And I've only driven the truck about maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe put 10 miles on it. You know, we don't always get to drive them all. The other thing that's amazing about it too is that the brakes stop really, really good. I'm not touching the brakes at all. The steering wheel at all as I brake just now, which by the way, horn works nice and loud. And just wanted to show that the other thing too is here I am in a cul-de-sac. And typically I would need both hands to steer. And this is not power steering and it's not power brakes. So really, really great driving truck. The other thing I got surprised by too is very rarely, I'm going to put it in reverse now, does the emergency brake work? And this one does. Beautiful truck. Start on the end, under the hood. Again, I'm with one hand here. This hood opens up super easy. 327. Really love the sound of the exhaust. Like I said, it's not too aggressive, it's just right. I call that baby bear's porridge. Not too hot, not too cold. Beautiful. This is a great farm truck, and that's what it's been. We don't know exactly when the Harrington Stables in Kentucky put their logo on here, and of course that could be taken off and you could polish the door or re-logo it. I think it looks really great the way it is, and I'm gonna leave it and let the next person decide what they want to do with it. But taking the vinyls off of the door and then reinstalling new vinyls, customizing it, making it personal to you is a very easy thing to do. There's vinyl shops all over, everywhere across the United States now. So I just want to encourage you, this is a great way to have customization of your own farm or your family name or a crest or your business or whatever. So now that the engine's off and we can hear underneath, just want to show you how clean these inner fender wells are. No rust, firewall's in great shape. And I'm finding that underneath the hood, I would say that everything's looking rust-free, including the hood itself. Nice and solid. Maybe just a little, some little spots like that. But from what I can tell, at least with the hood up, it's nice and shiny underneath. It looks like it had been detailed years ago. It also opens and closes very, very easily. And I wish I could do this. I'd have to have another person. But when you reach under and you open, there's a latch underneath here. You can see my fingers in here. I'm going to pull on that. And if I just, with my other finger, barely touch this, literally one finger, that is a very rare thing as well. The springs, of course, when you take them all the way up. But literally just lifting that hood with one finger, again, just a testimony to what great condition it's in. It's funny when I'm looking at an old truck like this and it's original style like this one is, maybe it's had one repaint is what the old man said many years ago. There's a few little rust spots and stuff that we're going to show you on the truck here in just a second. But what I want to tell you, what I'm looking for is things like that the hood opens and closes so easily, or that the doors open and close so easily and quick, smoothly. This is one of the easiest opening and shutting doors. I don't have to slam it. Another thing I want to see, windows roll up so smooth. So things like that. The horn works. The gauges all work, I believe. Even the fuel gauge works. This is wild. The horn works, which never, very rarely there's a horn work on these old trucks. So interior is in awesome shape. And since I'm in here, I'll go ahead and finish showing you guys. Let's see if I could get that. The lights to turn on. I think they turn on sideways. I know that the lights work. We checked out the turn signals, and in fact, what I love too is like turn signal indicator is working there. You can see that, and you can hear it click. And the turn signals work all the way around. Idiot generator light works. A lot of times those don't work, which is really cool. Ashtray in the center. These are really cool, kind of rare. The heater, which I believe also works. So it sounds like it works in speed 1, maybe speed 2, maybe not, and it could just be the switch. So that's pretty cool. Vents on the sides. I'm not sure if you can see those as I pull on these. They open and close, which is really cool. Rubber floor mat in here. We lift up, we'll see that it's painted underneath. It's a little spot where it was patched. The seat cover appears to be potentially original, which is really wild. And that was what I was told from the previous owner, that the interior was never redone, at least that the previous owner knew of. So according to the previous owner, this is the original interior. I think that that's very possible. It looks like it's in just fantastic shape. So when we get a little bit closer, we're good with these hinge pockets, which I'm always going to be concerned about. They look pretty good. A touch of crust right there, but that doesn't look like rust through. And then right next to this is a little rusty pop. Step side looks good on the driver's side. Got the old original wood bed in it, which is really hard to find. And I decided not to try to mess with it because if this was my truck, I think we'd probably bleach it, maybe sand it a little bit and clear coat it. If I can ever retain the originality of a vehicle, that's important to me personally. I know everybody's a little bit different. Windows roll with ease. Wanted to show this side as well. Headliner. I didn't figure out getting the light to work. I'm surprised because I figured it would, but it could be a bulb or maybe the switch. Back of the seat on this side. Underneath. Actually very, very clean underneath. And then we got a little bit of crusties here, but no rust through. This is the kind of stuff that other dealers would actually probably scrape and repaint, even just rattle can. And I don't like doing that. I don't want to hide anything. step up on this side as well. They also put this sound deadener on there underneath, all the way up underneath. People do weird things. Hinge pockets on this side, good. That little spot of crusty, like I said, just this hinge pocket on the top is in great shape. These doors are very, very solid. So usually I start with the exterior, and I didn't do that this time, so let's get going around the exterior real quick. One of the things I love, custom cab, GMC, all the chrome. I mean, this makes me want to just I just want to take a laser and cut the front end of this thing off and hang it on my wall in my office or something like that, you know, or make something really cool out of it. So, or this would be a great, you see in the movies, you pop the hood and there's a smoker inside filled with briskets and chicken and ribs. The original bumpers and grill look like original good shape is what I would call it. If you get really close up on it, you see that it's got some fading spots, or not perfect, little spots that could be a little bit of rust. But the fact of the matter is that this is the original bumper and grill, which I believe it to be. It's in pretty darn good shape. Light bezels look good. Old original GMC emblem. You know, stuff like this all the way around. This truck's really got a patina to it. And when you look up closely, you're going to see how faded it is on the top, orange. A few little spots that have, I'm not sure if someone tried to maybe clean it up or what would have caused these spots over the years for it to fade that way. It almost looks as if somebody would have put like a cleaner on it and tried to clean this. And even as I touch that with my nail and see that there's a little scratch marks on there, I'm thinking if you hit this with a buffer, there's a good chance that you could buff some of this off and make it more solid appearance. So like I said, from what we heard from the previous owner, this paint job was redone. I won't even know how old. It could be 30 years or more. So, but supposedly only one repaint. So it looks original. So there's a little paint pop there inside the wheel well. Just a touch of crusty rust there. This is not a rusty bucket, by the way. I'm just trying to do everything I can to show. You know, this is actually like not even, there's a little bit of rust there, but a lot of that's just undercoating that over time comes off. And if you just, I can just take it right off with my fingers. So I'm going to say overall really good and solid under here. Front fender. By the way, tires look brand new. They have brand new tread on them. This is a really common spot, and they make the patch pieces for these. In fact, I think this is $35 on LMC. I didn't want to go after stuff like this. I wanted to leave the originality. Bottom of the door, a few little spots, pretty common. If we open up the door, you'll see the bottom's got a little crusty on it, but it's not in bad shape by any means. Little spot like that. I showed you the paint here. And by the way, the body itself is super straight. So if you were looking for a truck to restore, I mean, this thing's running and driving. So you could, if you're a paint and body guy, you could blast this thing down, do a few little spots that are pretty common, and repaint this thing. And I mean, it's so straight. I mean, the top of the bed is straight. Inside the bed's pretty straight. I mean, it's been used as a work vehicle, I'm sure. But tailgate looks amazing. You can see the patina all the way around, consistent. But the body lines are very, very straight. I would say exceptionally so. Little pops of paint there. Bottom of the rocker there. And then the same like on this side. And you can tell somebody kind of tried to touch that up. I've been blessed to have a couple of guys that are body guys who can, you know, fix and touch these things up and keep the original patina. The bottom of the passenger side door looks good all the way across until you get to the very end, and you got a little crusty rust right there. I got to be careful. I ended up going a little longer on this truck than I have on others, but I didn't want to be too rushed because I wanted to show you guys, because I actually think this is a real gem. And I love the fact that they fitted it with the 327 4-speed. This makes it even more drivable and desirable. So underneath, it has not been undercoated, so you can see that there's this few common rusts, you know, that's very common. That this piece right here actually rusts out. You see a little surface rust under here. But the floor pans are in incredible condition. The back of the cab corner, I mean, this looks to be original cab corners. And that's really, really, again, rare. You hear me keep saying that. Oh my gosh, I just keep feeling blown away by finding out how solid this truck is. And I know I've said here's some crusties, there's some crusties, But I want to reiterate, this is not a rusty bucket truck. I'm lying on the ground underneath this. These are the original floor pans, cross members. Everything looks really good under here. Brake lines were replaced at some point. Really solid and clean underneath. I try to do 12 to 15 minute videos max, so I'm sorry I'm running a little over on this one, guys, but I know that you appreciate it ultimately, even though it's a little bit long and you can always fast forward. But really solid again under here, unrestored, nice condition. The undercarriage of this truck is really minimal rust. Again, on this side, in fact, instead of on the other side, this side, they just cut it off. And a lot of people do that, the support strip. Looks like the original cab corner had one repair done years ago. Floor plan on the driver's side looks amazing. Transmission's nice and clean. Somebody had put new exhaust on it at some point. Rear fenders look good. Underneath the bed, I mean, no rust to speak of, nothing to point at and say, hey, this looks wrong or bad or rusty or crusty, which is awesome. You can see the patina on the bottom of the rear fenders, maybe a little bit of body work that was done right there, but this looks to be original steel. Also, the rear bumper's not quite in as good a shape as the front bumper. I think it could be polished up. You can see maybe even a little bit of paint or something got on there. This final inner fender well. And that's it. I better get rolling. 17 minutes. This is one of the longer videos I've done, but I wanted to be really thorough because this is a beautiful truck. 58s and 59s are just getting harder to find. They were only 2-year vehicles. And so absolutely love this one. This is going to make somebody a beautiful driver. And I mean, my final statement on it is the beautiful thing about this one is jump in it and drive it today. It looks cool. This would make a great farm truck, make a great shop truck. And I don't think you'd have to spend $1 on the truck to just enjoy it just like it is. Give us a call. We're at PeachtreeClassicCars.com. Our phone number is on our ads. We don't put it out where the computer or the robots can get to it and call us, but please give us a call, and we'd look forward to hear from you.